Am I the asshole for turning off the living room camera when I'm home alone or I'm hanging with my kids? Too long don't read summary. I don't want our living room camera recording me anymore, so I turned it off. It feels controlling. My husband disagrees and feels disrespected. About 4 years ago, when my husband of 10 plus years and I bought our house, we bought a security system. Included in the bundle was an indoor-only camera. While I liked the idea of having it monitor for movement when we weren't home or sleeping, my husband wanted it on all the time, even while we were home. This made me somewhat uncomfortable, but I came around to the idea. We'd use it almost like a baby monitor to check on our 3 and 6 year olds when we were in the bathroom and heard crying or whatever. Our 3-year-old was nonverbal at that time, and sometimes his older brother would craft up some crazy story as to how he got hurt. We'd occasionally use the camera to figure out what time we put pizza in the oven if we forgot to start a timer, or to figure out who stole the cookies from the cookie jar. Anyways, fast forward to a couple of months ago. One day I'm chilling at home by myself while the kiddos were at school, and I just kind of realized it's weird to have a camera recording me chilling and watching shows. So I turned it off. I've mentioned multiple times that I don't think we need the cameras on, but in retrospect, I should have had a convo with him before turning it off. This made my husband upset. Now, if I turn it off, he turns it back on. We've had multiple conversations about it. I feel like the kids are old enough now that we don't need to monitor them like this anymore, and using a camera to prove/disprove their honesty is not the best parenting. But he wants the camera on 24/7, even if we both are right there watching the kids. But I feel like that argument is an uphill battle. So I simply don't want the camera recording me when I'm home alone or when it's just me and our kids. He claims that me not wanting the camera on is not respecting him as the head of household, and he will repeatedly turn it on anytime I turn it off. If he's at home, then he notices it's off right away. If he's at work, he'll turn it on in a few hours. No, it doesn't notify him that it turned off. I feel like it's weird and controlling, but I don't have any other good reason for not wanting it on. He wants to still use it to monitor the kids and use to figure out what time something happened. Sometimes he'll use it for things like helping the kids figure out where they put their book when they got home or something. We live in a pretty safe area and have a doorbell camera too, so I don't think home invasion while we're home is his concern. He's not mentioned that as a reason. His opposition to me turning it off when I'm home alone is that then I don't turn it back on, so there's no footage if we need to look back. Am I the asshole? Should I let this go? Edited to update, I confronted him for turning it on while I was home alone yesterday and then turned it off while the 4 of us sat down for dinner. He's now removed me from the account and I can't turn off the camera. Okay, so the biggest red flag in all of this is this term head of household that he's using to institute some kind of power over her. It's not like you're filing your taxes, dude. Using the term head of household. Who does that? Nobody does that. I'm the head of household. I get to decide what the happens here. That's not how life works. Also, in the comments of this post, it's revealed that OP's husband has cheated on her in the past, and this gives a completely different insight and tone to everything that we're seeing here. So throw that out for just a second, okay? Throw out the head of household thing too. Let's just look at this situation where they've got indoor and outdoor cameras, right? We're counting the doorbell cam as an outdoor camera. They have the one camera inside. It wouldn't matter if there were a ton of them outside and inside. Whenever you're home, normally those cameras get disabled. Now, using them periodically to jump in and check on something that's happening or not happening, like if I had messaged my wife and tried to message her several times, tried to call her several times and she wasn't answering and I was worried about something, then I could pop into the camera, turn it on, make sure everything was okay there, make sure there was no chaos or anything bad happening, just for peace of mind. Having the ability to jump in and turn it on, which you can do, is good enough. It doesn't need to be on all the time, right? And it sounds like this isn't about a safety thing at all. This is about a control thing. He wants to know exactly what she's doing all the time. He wants control of that situation. The fact that he's cheated on her in the past is another round of red flags here, because either he's still a cheater and he wants to know exactly where she is at all times to make sure that he can get away with his cheating, or he's got so much guilt about cheating that he's projecting onto her and feels like she's cheating and he's got to know where she is at all times. None of this is healthy at all. It's not healthy. There's an extreme lack of balance in this relationship, and his ass is showing. And it ain't a pretty one. It ain't pretty at all. I think there's this learning curve, though, whenever you first get security cameras in your house. Like, what's normal? Like, how does this work with your flow here? But you reached a point where you found some discomfort, and the fact that it made you uncomfortable should have been enough for him to at least make an effort to find some kind of middle ground there and to say, okay, they don't have to be on whenever it's just you home, or they don't have to be on whenever we're home. But if I need to, I'll jump in and turn it on if I don't hear from you, or if I need to check in on something or whatever. That's not what happened, though. He had this ultimatum because he's the head of household. You gonna do what I say? I'm the head of household. You got a dictator here. 2 words. Dick. OP, you're not the asshole at all. There's some hardcore controlling going on here. As OP is responding people into the comments here, it also is revealed that she was formerly more submissive, like in the beginning of the relationship when they got married, in the beginning of their marriage. So he married a submissive and he's still treating her like a submissive. And maybe she's just now getting to the point where she's thinking, why the hell am I doing this? I should be making my own decisions and speaking up when I'm uncomfortable about something. So bravo to OP. That's not an easy battle, especially when this has been 10 plus years that you've been married. So good luck navigating this situation. You got a control freak that could still be cheating on your hands here. But hey, he's the head of household, so he can do whatever the he wants, right? File that on your taxes. There's no way of getting around him being an ASCON 1 here. There's just not. Your husband is an ASCON 1. Maybe you can communicate this and change that over a period of time, but he's been an ASCON 1 for 10 plus years. So it may take 10 plus years. Can you wait that long? I mean, you have kids, and obviously it gets more complicated when you have kids. And a lot of people like to run straight to divorce whenever they're in comments here. There's bound to be some way, there's a possible path that leads to a resolution where everyone's happy here. I just don't know what the it is, because he's been controlling and she's been submissive for so long that that's going to be a really hard habit to break. It's a big behavior change for 2 people, and that changes the complete relationship. So who knows what would happen here, but husband is a controlling ASCON 1. So good luck. Also navigate carefully through this, because when controlling people lose control, sometimes they do crazy shit. And sometimes they lash out, and sometimes they try to grab control tighter, and that could get messy. So build a support network if you don't have one already. Have some people that you can call in case of trouble. Have some places that you can go in case of trouble. Not saying that you'll need it, but especially when you have children, better safe than sorry, right? So good luck with that. And by the way, me offering those suggestions is just me offering suggestions. I am not trying to control you in any way, shape, or form. You do you, boo-boo. By the way, that was a follower submission, and you can submit your AITA story or whatever Reddit story that you have, or whatever story period that you have that you're interested in having us look at, for the possibility of having it read here at reddit-sedit.com. We have a form right at the bottom of that homepage that will allow you to submit your story there. Where it comes to us for review, it's not a guarantee that we're going to read it, but there's a chance. This one got through. Why not yours? Everyone is an asshole story, probably, and I want to see it. I want to read your story, so please give me your story. I will read your story and maybe even read it and record the story. So thank you very much. If you are not subscribed to us yet on YouTube and Insta, you definitely should do that. Of course, we're on TikTok. That's where the majority of our new content goes. But there's some really cool stuff on YouTube, like compilations, and our video podcast gets posted there. On Insta, we do a lot more behind the scenes and like family stuff, so it's more daily life. We do actually ask our Insta group for some feedback on some things too, like t-shirt ideas and that kind of thing. So if you want to be more involved in things that we do, Insta's a really good follow there. YouTube is a great follow if you like really long content or the ability to just dive on specific topical things, because we have playlists for almost every kind of drama that we've read. So there is a mother-in-law drama playlist. There's a family drama playlist. There's just about anything you can think of. We've got playlists for it where you can just hit play and listen for a long time about a very specific kind of drama. And of course, we have the podcast channels, which there are several of. You can get to all of this by using Linktree, which there is a link in bio for. So check out Linktree, connect with us on all of the places that you're already at, and you can begin enjoying even more assholes and Dusty Thunder. Merci beaucoup, la service est compris.